country. Today we cross over to South Africa and I'm speaking with Duduzile Ramela. Good morning.
Hello, Sawubona.
Sawubona, unjani?
My native Zulu. Yes, ngiyaphila unjani?
I just spoke to you in Zulu there because I just know a little bit. Good morning, so good to have you. What time is it across where you are now?
It's 12:20, so it's just a few minutes after midday here. It's a beautiful day in South Africa.
So that means it's 6:20 here in Trinidad, but 6 hours behind you.
Good morning.
Good morning. So it's African History Month here in Trinidad and Tobago, and we've been crossing over to a different country in Africa every day just to find out more about your country. And of course, I think people tend to know or think they know a bit about South Africa. And most of what people would remember would be about apartheid and some of the memories that we particularly don't want to celebrate, yes? But we want to talk about South Africa, the new South Africa, since, you know, the freeborns. Tell us a bit about what is to celebrate about South Africa now.
Sure. That's a very deep question. We find ourselves in a space where we've come so far in terms of enjoying freedoms, in terms of entering into certain spaces, in terms of interacting with people of different nations, of different colors, of different races. But we still find ourselves bogged down by the issue of racism in South Africa. It happens behind closed doors. It happens during dinner table conversations. It happens at braais, and that plays itself out on social media. We've seen convictions this year of people who were racist on social media, who took to social media to call black people all kinds of names, ending up in court and ending up in jail. So in as much as we have this rainbow nation, we are termed the rainbow nation, and may have been a bit premature. That being said, there's a lot to celebrate about South Africa. We have the best weather. We are on the southernmost tip of the continent. We are part of an amazing people, an amazing continent. We share such a rich history. And outside of our weather, I think our people as well are just an amazing kind. Like, we're so welcoming. No matter where you go in South Africa, you find people that will always welcome you and open their doors to you.
I can actually agree and concur with that. I think I left my heart in South Africa, in Pretoria, exactly. Just love it there. How many languages do you speak?
So we've got 11 official languages. My native language is isiZulu, and when I greeted you and said Sawubona, that means I see you in isiZulu. My father is also Tswana, so that's where the Ramela comes from. So with us, names are very important. There's everything to a name. So my name is Duduzile Ramela, and the Duduzile part is Zulu and Ramela is Tswana. Someone had to compromise between my mom and my dad. So my dad took the surname and my mom took the name. So 11 official languages. I speak most of them except for one, because it's a tricky language to speak, and that's Chivenda.
And everyone says that's a tricky one.
It's such a tricky one. Even for me, it's so difficult to get it. But the funny thing is that our languages are so interconnected with the rest of the continent, right? We were a borderless society, and so you find that some of the languages that we speak, for instance, like isiZulu, you'll find something in Rwanda, or you'll find something in Zambia, where there's a similarity in languages. But we've got 11 official languages, 9 big provinces, and there's just a spread of languages here in South Africa. Common language, unfortunately, of course, colonial languages being English and Afrikaans. That's like the mainly used languages, but native languages very much also dominating.
And I know that when I visited South Africa, I visited some of the most beautiful spaces like God's Window, and you also have like a canyon. And in my mind, I always heard of the Grand Canyon in America, but there's a canyon in South Africa as well.
Yes, the Blade River Canyon in Mpumalanga. It is the most beautiful thing you've ever seen in terms of the rock formation. If you can Google it, it's right where God's Window is as well. You know, I just want to go back a couple of points, that sometimes we're so privileged and sometimes we're not really privileged. In a country where we've got so many beautiful spaces to see, a majority of our population has still not seen some of those places. So you speak about Blade River Canyon all the way from Trinidad and Tobago. and that touches my heart. But there's also work that we need to do in our country where we give people access to these beautiful sites. Just to go back to your question on Blade River Canyon, it's this beautiful formation of rocks where it just shows you how much powerful or power there is in water. I always say that God exists in water. So water has carved out these beautiful, beautiful plains at the Blade River Canyon. It's something that I can't even describe to you, but it's just something you have to see for yourself. We've also got in the Western Cape amazing sites. So I recently discovered as well that in KwaZulu-Natal there is a cave where they found a bone, and they call it the Lebombo bone. Now this Lebombo bone it's got markings in terms of like a calendar. So we believe that that's where the original calendar came from, and it's African women would mark on the calendar when it was their cycle. So it was a cyclical sort of like bone, but it could tell in terms of the time of the year. So there's so many things that we're discovering on a daily basis that we have. Homo naledi, I'm sure you guys know about Homo naledi, you know, the beginning of humankind. It's really a beautiful space and a beautiful country to be in.
We just don't have enough time because South Africa, it's just so diverse. And I know we didn't even get to talk about pap, which is your food that I love. But we have something called cuckoo made out of cornmeal, and pap, I think it's out of is it mashed rice, is it? Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like a powder, it's like maize meal that they grind and it becomes a powdery form, and then you use with water to make this sort of solid substance. Pap is a firm favorite in South Africa, and meat. We are meat eaters.
Yeah, you are meat mouths.
So pap and meat, and we call it a braai, so where you just have like an open...
It's a barbecue. A braai is a barbecue. Listen, I have to stop because I think everyone here knows that I love South Africa, and I just can't go on because we're short on time. But Dudu, thank you so much for sharing the time with us. Maybe we'll catch you again next week before the end of African History Month here in Trinidad and Tobago. But it has been a pleasure chatting with you, and have a wonderful day. Okay.